You see, the problem of Nigeria is like HIV AIDS. That's the problem of Nigeria. When you are treating symptoms for headache, symptoms for malaria rears its head. When you are treating symptoms for malaria, symptoms for fever rears its head. When you are treating symptoms of cough, symptoms of malaria or fever, symptoms of cough rears its head. And that is how different illnesses keep rearing their head, because the human immune system has been compromised. That is exactly what the problem of Nigeria is like. And we make the mistake of thinking that the problem of Nigeria is like one sickness of malaria or typhoid, that you can just take the medicine for it and that is the cure. It is not like that with Nigeria. And this wrong approach is why people think that the problem of Nigeria is corruption alone. Oh, solve corruption and Nigeria will be okay. That is not true, because corruption is just one of the symptoms of the problems of Nigeria. Some will come and say it is the constitution. Just change the constitution and everything will be fine. Well, maybe that will help. But if anything, if we are to go by what we saw with the Electoral Act of 2022, we'll find out that even if you had the best of constitution, with the people that we have right now, they will still mess it up. So constitution is just a symptom of the problem. Some others says, oh, it is leadership. Oh, if we can just get the leadership problem of Nigeria correctly, then Nigeria will be fine. Yes, it may be leadership, but leadership is just one of the symptoms. If you take the leadership in Nigeria and you bring in a fresh leader without them having to deal with other things, we will also get the same result. So when other people think it is, oh, we have to implement true federalism, all of these are symptoms. Oh, the problem of Nigeria is marginalization. The Igbos are marginalized. Some will come and say the Yorubas are marginalized. Oh, the Hausas and the Fulanis are marginalized. Even me, I will come and say that the Urobos are marginalized. But you see, all of these talk about marginalization and the solution being secession. It's all symptoms of the problem. The problem of Nigeria is that there is an elite group of people that have put a system in place that is similar to HIV AIDS. This system is what looks like juju to people in Aso Rock when they say a president behaves normally before he gets into Aso Rock, and when he gets into Aso Rock, he begins to behave differently. And some people have come up to suggest that maybe there is some juju in Aso Rock. It is not juju. This system that is put in place by this elite group of external forces is what is responsible for this HIV AIDS-like system that is ruining Nigeria. And unless we understand how this system works, we will just continue to treat one symptom after another, and then other symptoms will continue to rear their ugly heads. So how does this system work? The system works on two fronts. Yes, many of us agree that leadership is a problem in Nigeria. So this system that this elite group of people have put in place have to target two groups of people. They target the leadership and they target the followership. Yes, you heard me. It is not only leadership problem we have also followership problem. The both of them are components of this system that this elite group of people, I call them the Kolo Cabal. The elite group of people, the system that they have put in place to keep Nigeria in its perpetual state of poverty, hunger, and underdevelopment, stopping us from rapidly industrializing, stopping us from food self-sufficiency. That system has two major components, the leadership component and the followership component. What do they do with the leadership component? They make sure that they weaponize poverty to compromise our leaders and then compel them, push them into office, and force them to enact policies that will favor them, that will see that Nigerians suffer, but that the result or the resources of Nigeria continues to flow to them. That is what they do with our leaders. They have their structure in place, that system in place. That is why you will see that it is only leaders that have one comma somewhere that the system throws up through the political parties to hold elective offices. These leaders are then compromised. They are compelled, they are forced to do things that they hitherto would not like to do. Have you heard people say something like this about Tinubu? That, oh, this is not the Tinubu that we used to know. Oh, the Tinubu that we used to know is sharp, is intelligent, is brilliant. But they are shocked at the kind of decisions that Tinubu is taking now. I tell you the truth, and I kid you not. The system has taken over Tinubu, and that system is what we must tackle. And that's on the leadership side. Remember, they compromise the leader and corrupt the leader, and then compel the leader to do their bidding. But they know that if they stop with just leadership, the people will now unite, the people will organize and push that leadership away, like they did in Iran, like they did in Egypt, like they did elsewhere during the Arab Spring. They know that. So what do? They have another system in place to keep the followership docile. They divide them and they distract them, all to make the followership docile. So how do they compromise the followership? How do they compromise the leadership? They compromise the leadership with corruption. How do they deal with the followership? They divide and distract the followership with religion, with ethnicity, with music. In fact, religion and ethnicity serve the purpose of division. They use it to divide. But you see, entertainment, music, sports, comedy, football, and the likes, even including education, all these are also tools to distract the people. You will see that during the 2023 presidential election, only 10%, is it up to 10%? 20 million people came out to vote. If you add all the votes of the three top leading candidates together, it's about 20 million. As against 220 million Nigerians. So you see that that's about 10% of Nigerians that came out to come and vote. What were the remaining 90% doing? They were distracted by these 7 factors that I'm talking about. Music, movies, comedy, entertainment, football, leisure and recreation. They use it to distract us. And we must understand this if we are going to get Nigeria out of its current state of poverty into riches. So how do we solve this? Understanding the system like this, we must now engage the people power to push the corrupt politicians away. Because one of the underlying tools that they use to divide and distract the people, using all of these measures that I talked about, is the weaponization of poverty and hunger. When the people are hungry, they are easily divided along ethnic or religious lines, and they are easily distracted with football, music, movies, entertainment, and the likes. So what do we need to do? We need to create a fresh political party that will open up the space for well-meaning Nigerians to come in, and then we now use that structure to pressure the National Assembly to pass the Free Food and Social Welfare Bill into law. And once we have that, that can now guarantee free food to the poorest of the poor Nigerians. And once they know that their feeding is taken care of, then they can now begin to think and see the true qualities of our leaders. Unless we do this, we will bring 1,000 Peter Obi, we will bring 1,000 Sowore, we will bring 1,000 Al-Mustafa. The people will not see their qualities because they are hungry. We can blame them all we want because we have food to eat. But when hunger beats you and you don't know where the next meal will come from, you will appreciate what these people go through. So long as poverty is weaponized against them, they won't be able to see clearly. But if we are able to use this new party that we want to form, right, to pressure the National Assembly to pass the Free Foods and Social Welfare Bill into law, then we can free the people from looking up to these corrupt politicians for feeding or for help as destiny helpers. We can now free them to begin to look to people that mean well for Nigeria to solve their problem. It is very, very important that we do this. And I want to use this opportunity to call upon you to join in this task. Click the link in the description and register from wherever you are. You don't have to give money. All we need is your name and your email and your phone number and your location so that we can use it to form the core the foundation of the structure that we will use to retire these low-cost consumer leaders or politicians come 2027. Are you in or not? I hope you are in.